Today in the Boot Guide, we are looking at the Overpass from Wolverine. All right, so I got one question for everybody out there. I've got a personal question all about this contour welt system. We're gonna save that to the end, but let's take a really good look at what makes this boot so comfortable and a beautiful transition boot for somebody that's coming from laces and wants to go into a pull-on boot. First, we gotta start with the sole material. This new sole material that Wolverine's using on their contour welts, they're stepping it up from their original first and second generation. It's a softer, more pliable, more spongy, more lazy boy type feel material. It's very, very bouncy. For some people, it might be too bouncy. It might feel too much like a gym shoe, and that's what's making it a nice transition from ultra soft, comfortable lace work boots to something like this that could be a great summertime boot for somebody who doesn't want to mess around with laces, or for somebody who needs to take their boots on and off from job sites. Now, this is not the safety toe overpass, but between this and the comp toe overpass, they're pretty much the same boots outside of the actual comp toe. And since it is Wolverine and Wolverine understands how to make a boot with a safety toe in it, I don't imagine there being any size or fit issues between the two models. I mean, I've never heard of anybody going from a soft toe to a comp toe in their same size in the brand, the Wolverine brand, and having a hard time. So the Overpass is a waterproof plus boot, which means that there's a membrane inside there, there's a barrier built into it, and it's also waterproof treated leather. So it's seam sealed, it's taped, it's gonna keep you dry. Now, are you gonna stand around in buckets of water day in and day out in this boot? Probably not. It's probably not the best idea, but going from mud to rain to dry days and just having something dependable on your foot, this system will actually keep you dry. Now let's look at all this rubber stuff around the toe. Now, like I said, it's not a safety toe, but this hard rubber shell that they're using on the contour welt, on this Overpass, is a little bit stiffer than anything I felt before on a soft toe. It's a little bit thicker. It's got some backbone to it. Now, if you're dropping a cinder block on your foot, it's not gonna help you at all. It's just gonna crush your toes. But if you're using it to kick stuff into place, kicking wheels, you know, just maybe if you're wearing this in the landscaping world, this is gonna be a-okay. This is gonna give you enough backing that you can kick stuff all day long, and it's not gonna transmit through to your foot. Now, if you're repeatedly kicking a concrete wall, yeah, you're gonna feel it, but you're gonna feel it in a comp toe anyway. Now, this side rubber stuff that you see that's going on here, which is pretty much all just aesthetics, I don't see any real purpose for it in there. They claim that this is gonna hold the boot together better by having these materials here, but I don't see that happening, because if your boot's falling apart here, it's falling apart from flexes. And there's really nothing you can do except use one single piece of material and follow that material all the way underneath the boot. Now, inside the boot, what you find is a really nice liner. Now, Wolverine is known for being able to make mass-produced boots feel the same all the way through. So when you buy a 9 in a Wolverine and you move into a different style from them, 99% of the time, it's gonna fit the same way. Their lasts are very universal amongst all their numbers. Now, I'm not talking heritage Wolverines here. I'm only talking the work Wolverines and some of the casual Wolverines. They're kind of built in the exact same way. So knowing what's going on inside this boot, on the way they lay things out and how everything is die cut and mechanically cut, you know that it's gonna fit from boot to boot to boot. Now, with that being said, with the insides being all synthetics, all polyesters, and all waterproof materials like you find in every good soft work boot, you're losing a few things that you normally find in pull-on boots. You're not finding a leather heel stop. There's no leather back there. It's just the material and it's reinforced. So you lose that type of comfort feel that you'll find in a real pair of Wellingtons. But if you've never worn Wellingtons before, It's a hell of a great place to start. So inside the boot, they're using an Ortholite, and when I received this pair, it was crammed inside there. Now, it is the right size insole for the boot, which just leads me to believe that their mediums are truly mediums. And when I had it on my foot, yeah, it felt like a 12 medium. And that's the thing, is that these Wellingtons from Wolverine, they're not coming D, double E, triple E, they're coming medium wide, extra wide. That's how Wolverine works most of the contour welt boots. So the mediums are a true medium. So if you're a D width, you can go with a medium. If you're a double E width, definitely go with a wide. And if you're wider than that, go with extra wide. Now, getting the boot on and off in comparison to an actual pull-on boot, a Western style, or a real Wellington boot, something that's made around the whole Wellington style, this is a nice, loose, general fit. This feels like something that's more of an oil rigging boot, where it comes on and off really easy. It's more of an emergency type thing, the way it kind of slides off. You don't really need a boot jack, though. I would say to always use a boot jack with pull-on boots, but it does just slide off nice. The contour welt offers a nice platform in order for you to get something behind that boot to make it easier coming off. So like I said earlier, going between laces and pull-on boots, why is it a good boot? Because of that nice loose fit, how easy your foot turns inside this thing and how easy it feels at the top of the foot. Now, a really nice pair of Wellingtons should be much lower here. It should hold your foot more. But that's a really uncomfortable place for people who didn't grow up wearing Western or Wellington boots. So when you move from laces and you move into something like this, you need it to be tight, but you also need it to be comfortable. And Wolverine is tackling that by adding a bit of padding right into this section here. So when your foot is bouncing around on there, when you're not used to wearing this type of boot, you don't really notice it. It's not banging around in there. Your foot is sitting in a nice cushioned section. All right, so let's get to my puzzlement. I don't understand the stitch. I know it looks like a welt, but it doesn't feel like a welt. I would really appreciate if one of you guys out there who is a subscriber to the channel, if you guys have an old pair of contour welts, if you want to donate them to the deconstruction series that I do where I cut the boots apart so we can see what's going on, I would really like to know if this is just an aesthetic. I can move the threads around, and I always could in all the contour welts, but it's not until this particular pair of boots that it has left me questioning why it's there. Could it be because I've seen a lot of boots being built over the last year and a half, 2 years? I've seen a lot of the processes and the machines that do this, that put these pieces together, and I don't understand that? Maybe. Do I think it's just there for aesthetics? Yeah. But would I like to be proven wrong? Of course I would. I would like to see if this welt is real and if it does actually aid in the whole construction and keeping this boot together. So that's the Wolverine Overpass pull-on Wellington boot with a soft toe, 100% waterproof. If you currently own a pair of Wolverine Wellingtons, please comment below. Let guys know what you think about a Wolverine Wellington. And if you've owned other Wellingtons and you can compare these two boots for which one is more comfortable, which one's more durable, please add that to your comment. If you're interested in seeing some of the detailed photos of this welt and all these little embellishments that are going on inside this boot, swing by thebootguy.com. I will have detailed photos of all those sections so you get a better idea of what the boot looks like if you're buying it online. You'll also understand a little bit better on why they're using these pieces once you see them up close. Please don't forget to hit my subscribe button below. You know it really helps out. And don't forget you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram and my new Facebook page. Swing by, check it out, The Boot Guy Reviews. Also, Patreon. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, if you enjoy what I do, please take a moment and think about sponsoring me on Patreon. Cost you $12 a year. Picture it as if you're buying me a six-pack. Though I'm not going to be using the money for beer, I'm going to be using the money in order to keep this project going, to make it much more interesting, and to get my hands on different products. Hey, if you're about to pick up a pair of pull-on boots for your first time, if you're really considering it and you got some questions before you pull the trigger or make that purchase, feel free to shoot me over an email. If you got some really good questions, I'll add it to my Ask the Boot Guy series, but I will definitely help you make this decision and just make it an easier decision moving from laces to pull-on. All right, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.